Hello, hello, hello. It's Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Success Bully is an elite accountability practice, so that makes me your personal professional butt kicker. It's real. Happy Monday. There's so much to be grateful for today. So I just want to take a moment to just say thank you. Thank you to everyone that reached out to wish me a happy birthday. I am so grateful for um, another year, It's pretty awesome stuff. It's been a the last year I feel like I learned so much about myself, about business, about big vision, where I want to go and where I want to take things. So I am incredibly grateful to be here with you. I am incredibly grateful for the turnout for our birthday giveaway. I'm incredibly grateful for my team. So shout out to Lucille, Jen, Coach Gigi. Even my mom sometimes is on the team. Who knows? So I just want to take that gratitude break. I also wanted to just give a special shout out. We were able to give away over $25,000 in online courses for our birthday giveaway. So if you raised your hand and access that program called the First Five Figure Formula, just know that we're excited for you and we can't wait to see the results. And if you need support, reach out. If there's anything you're stuck on, or if you have questions, reach out. Like I said, $25,000 worth of online courses, and so I know that there's a need in this space. I know that there are a lot of us in this community that want to stretch and grow our practices. So I want to just take a moment right there and just acknowledge and thank everyone for the birthday wishes, for participating, for just being so engaged in this community. Okay, so enough about me waxing poetically about this gratitude moment. So, I always look at my new year, my birthday as like a new year, right? So I kind of take that a moment to pause, to reassess, to think through what it is I want. Am I in alignment with my goals? In the areas that I want to see improvement, have I made the commitment to improve? Uh, what are what are the things that I want to shift in the next trip around the sun? And so like I definitely take pause to reassess my business around my birthday. And of course, at the top of the year, I kind of do an assessment quarterly. And I think that one thing that kind of stands out for me with entrepreneurship, and I've yelled this on the internet before, is that it's dynamic, right? And you can design it. You can design it to align with your values. You can design entrepreneurship to mirror your interests. You can design entrepreneurship to give you that freedom and flexibility you're looking for. You can design entrepreneurship to kind of um, build that financial freedom you're looking for. Entrepreneurship is so dynamic, right? And I think that what this coaching practice looked like 5 years ago versus what it looks like now are very different. It's very different, and it has grown in the most magical ways possible. But also, I think that there were tough decisions along the way that I had to make to to get to this point. And so I want to kind of share the assessment that I do from time to time to check in with myself, to check in with the team, to kind of it's less about the P&L and just about the feel of the business, right? While yes, there's a portion where I look at the numbers, there is how do you want your business to feel for you personally? How do you want it to feel for your team if you have one? How do you want it to feel for your clients, right? And so the first question I ask myself is, do I still have a passion for this work? Do I still have a passion? Is it still fun? Am I still looking forward to each day? I think that one of the blessings of entrepreneurship is that I've never dreaded Monday. I never have the Mondays. What is that, on Sunday evening where you're like, oh, you're already dreading your work week. I don't have that experience in entrepreneurship. I don't have that so much. I think that the tedious parts of entrepreneurship can kind of weigh heavy on me. But like, yeah, I think I don't have the Mondays. I don't dread getting to work. So like the first question I ask myself is, am I still passionate about this work? Am I still passionate about the people I'm serving? Am I still passionate about even showing up and doing these lives every Monday? We're what, on 2 years plus of me going live every Monday, unless it's a national holiday. Do I still have a passion for it? Do I still enjoy it? Do I still feel like it's adding value to the world? Right? Do I still have a passion for it? And one big decision that I made, what was that, in 2020? I think, Lucille, that was in 2020. I think, was it? Yeah. Lashandra, we're going to talk about passionate and tired. Hold on a second. Wait, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Hold on, baby. I'm coming for you. Um, so I think I lost my train of thought. Yeah. Oh, so one of the big decisions about passion that I had to make for my business. And so when we launched Success Bully, we obviously had the coaching side of the business. So we had our one-on-one coaching. We later launched groups. We evolved these things, but we also had a corporate practice. We had a corporate practice where I would do corporate trainings on goal setting. I would do corporate trainings on giving and receiving feedback. I would do corporate trainings um, on preparing for your performance review, accountability. I would do all these corporate trainings. And it felt in conflict. It felt in conflict after a while with my message of, yes, transition out of your full time job, pursue entrepreneurship full time. Here's how you do it. It felt disingenuous, right? So it felt like, I should tell you prepare for your performance review, but what I really want to tell you is entrepreneurship rocks. So that felt a little disingenuous, but also the amount of work and the outcomes didn't align, if that makes sense. And it felt like the things that troubled me about corporate when I was in it showed up in the corporate work. And so I made a decision that I just wasn't passionate for it. I mean, I feel like I was good at it. I feel like I taught a hell of a workshop. I feel like I was good at it. But like it came to a point where the constant bumping my head up against the wall, um, the 18 months plus to close a deal, the negotiation process, trying to establish a baseline value for these things, that all took the passion right out of it. Like, I can facilitate all those workshops in my own space. And so I shut down the corporate side of the business. And so what's interesting is we were able to replace all of that revenue with coaching. I had more space. I had more space. So I was spending all this time on corporate proposals that, may or may not sit on somebody's desk. I repurposed that time to make space for more clients, to have more consultation calls, to host more of our own events, to spend more time nurturing our own community, and we've exceeded the corporate revenue. We've more than replaced it by just focusing and stepping away from something that I didn't have a passion for anymore, right? Not to say, that's a forever and ever amen, but I just didn't have a passion for it. And I want to assure you, like, we are dynamic and magical people. Everyone who is watching this live stream, and even the folks that are gonna watch it later, or the people in the community that don't show up for anything, um, I want you to know you are dynamic and you are magical. We are dynamic and magical people. And so because we are dynamic and magical people, and I'm assuming we're all geniuses, right? The double-edged sword of being brilliant is, you never run out of good ideas. So we have passion and interest in a lot of different things. right? And so I'm not surprised when that shows up in your business. So when your interests change or you want to reshape something, we are dynamic, we're magical people, right? And so I try to anchor myself. I always try to come back to my passion to help and encourage people, right? I'm still passionate about helping and encouraging people. How I do that can shift, right? I stand very firm in why I do it. I want to help and encourage people build their businesses, get their financial freedom, have a pathway to CEO, have the success and life they deserve, have that freedom and flexibility that they're looking for. I want to help and encourage more people to do that. That hasn't changed. And so whether that's a group coaching program, whether that's an online course, whether that's working with me one-on-one, the how can shift, but I stand firm in why I do it. I stand firm with why I am so passionate about it, right? And so, check in on your passion. I think that I am an avid baker. If you know me very well, you probably had cookies or I made you a cake or something. I know that as soon as somebody puts a time frame on my baking and we have an exchange of cash around it, I lose interest in it because it's a hobby. While I have a passion for it, I don't know that I would be a pastry chef. I don't know that I'd go to school for it. Maybe I will. I don't know. But even then, I wouldn't want to necessarily. It's something fun to do. I don't know that I have a passion for it, right? So check in on that passion level. Are you still passionate about it? And then the next thing, I think that when you're kind of assessing that business part, are you profitable? Are the things that you're working on making money? And I hate to sound crass or blunt, but your job as an entrepreneur, and y'all can come and get me. You can send me DMs. You can comment all you want on this one. I don't. That's how I'm going to respond. Your job as an entrepreneur is to make money. That's why you go to work, to make money, to afford the life you want, right? So this you may have started your business for any number of reasons. So maybe for your freedom and flexibility, because you wanted to change the world, because you wanted to make fashion more sustainable. There's a number of reasons of why you start a business. The reason your desired outcome of that business is money. Like I haven't gotten to a place where um, I don't have to work. I'm working towards that goal. But I want you to really check in, look at what's going on, look at your look at where the money's flowing and going, and just make sure that you're making money. The stuff that you're bringing on, the clients that you're working with, the projects you're saying yes to, are they making money? Are they priced appropriately? I think that when and especially for coaches, where you have this natural inclination to help people, to try to help people live a better life, there's a tendency to um, give away a lot, over service, undercharge, have all types of discounts and deals because you want to serve. So I want you to check in on that and check in on it. And I think that there's no shame in going, okay, well, this piece isn't working. What do we need to do different? Right? There's no shame in that because you could be really passionate about something. And if you're wearing yourself down, if you're trying to figure out how to pay yourself, how to pay the overhead on your business, and you're barely getting by, that can tap your passion real quick. When money's funny, that can tap out your passion real quick, right? So just want you to check in on, is it profitable, right? Is it what you're doing right now? And this is where, like, we have to do that honest inventory, um, on how we're positioning things in the future. Like, as I don't think I have to dim my light on this one. I'm a pretty popular coach, right? I'm a good coach. I've been in it for a while. I have a great client base. We're at capacity on one-on-one. We're scaling group coaching. We're working on these other projects to build a whole brand around this. And so there's less my time has become way more valuable than it was a few years ago because there's less of it available. It's like airplane prices, right? The last 2 seats on the airplane are way more expensive than the first 2, right? And so, like, having to check in on, are we positioning this correctly? Are we profitable? Does this map into my passion? And I'm pleased to tell you, I have phenomenal clients, and I have a my alumni are phenomenal. I have been very fortunate that I get to work with people I absolutely adore, right? And I am as passionate about their businesses as I am about mine. And so that's a blessing to be at that space where I can say no to things, and I have a fine-tuned eye on what works for my coaching practice and who I wanna work with and who I wanna do, right? Who I wanna, um, partner with. I'm very fortunate to be in that space. Yeah, so check in on your passion. Oh, hey, Dr. Chanel. Hey. Okay, Dr. Chanel, you can book a call. Pricing and overserving, uh-huh, we can talk about that. We'll do a whole live about it. So check in on your passion, check in that it's profitable. And then the last piece is process, right? Are there processes that you can refine or fine tune? And so, like, when you think about, are your clients happy? Are you seeing similar results across the board for your client? If your client results are all over the place, that may be that you don't have a process or a journey that you walk them through. So their results are all over the place because you're not doing the same thing with every client, right? If you are burnt out, hello, Lashandre, I'm talking to you. I want you to filter it through this. What can you delegate, automate, or eliminate? If your business is dragging you and you are tired, you are burnt out, you're working all these hours, that usually has to do with you may be doing a lot of busy work and not a lot of impactful work. We'll talk more about that later. You might be spinning yourself round and round in circles with a bunch of busy work. You may be overthinking and over rotating, which happens as a genius. There's a tendency to overthink for our geniuses out there, self included. And so, so there you may be spinning up a lot of busy work that is not the best use of your time. you know, if you have a process for onboarding, if you have a process for how you approach social media, if you have a process for your client work, right? If you have a process that makes things a lot easier, when your processes are fine tuned, you can delegate a lot easier. It's like McDonald's. McDonald's is run by a bunch of teenagers because there's a binder on French fries, right? So having those passion, profitability processes, right? I was like, if you are finding yourself exhausted, it may be time to leave the baby with the babysitter. In the sense of when we first start our businesses, we're so protective of it and nobody wants to have their baby called ugly, but there's a point where if you have a big vision and you want to scale and you want to grow, you have to build a team around yourself. You have to duplicate your effort. and processes are so important to do that, right? You know, I know I look shiny with my fancy copper eyeshadow and my Adidas tracksuit, but there's a whole team. There's a whole team that makes this easy, right? I had to message everybody, if I had to schedule all the social media, if I had to write everything, if I had to interact with everybody, if I had to book all the calls, if I had to serve all the clients, write all the content, map out all the coaching modules, I'd be tired. I'd be tired. That's why I have a team. Right? I probably work 25 to 30 hours a week. Probably have a whole attitude if I work a full 40. We talking about it in team meeting. Lucille can tell you. I'm like, why was I so busy this week, y'all? So just look at it from the perspective. If you are burnt out and you're feeling like this is dragging you and beating you up a little bit, what can you delegate, automate, eliminate? All right. So I never want to leave this live stream without offering an opportunity to connect. Like I know I've just threw a bunch of stuff at you, and this is what I found worked for me. It doesn't mean it's the end all. I am well aware that there is more than one way to build a business, right? And there's more than one way to share your passion with the world. And so I don't want to leave this live stream without extending the invitation to book a strategy session. If you are feeling overwhelmed, you're trying to figure out, okay, what can I do so that I'm aligned with my passion, I'm profitable, I have those processes in place so I'm not working all the time, book a strategy session. And you can do that at successfully.com/call. You can reach out to your personal concierge, Lucille, and she's happy to send resources your way or get you on my calendar, right? And so, I think that this is a great time as we're kind of sliding into the last part. Like summer is ending, wah, 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 and we're kind of sliding into that last part of the year. This is a perfect time um, to really get some momentum going to 2023 because your business is always 90 days ahead of you. And when you really look at where we are in terms of national holidays and when like people just shut down and stop working, this is a great window that if you're going to make a shift, if you're going to make a change in your business, if you're going to dial things up, this is an excellent time to do that so that you finish the year strong, but you also have that momentum going into 2023. So once again, I am Keita Williams, and I am the founder and chief strategist of Successfully. Thank you again for all the birthday love. Thank you for attending this live stream, and I can't wait to see what all you'll accomplish in the coming weeks and months.